Hey everyone, it's Heidi and welcome back to this week's episode of Baby Names Sunday. Today I decided to do a fall and autumn inspired baby names list today. Obviously we are kind of at the end of summertime right now and I already feel it in the air. Fall is just around the corner and I decided to do this one a little bit earlier just so that people have time to pick and choose names, and definitely I know parents who are expecting in the fall time, they are definitely on the hunt for names right now. So if you guys are new here, my name is Heidi and every single Sunday I upload baby names here over on YouTube. Also go check me out over on Instagram. It's at Baby Names Sunday. I'll have it right here, but I'll also have it linked down in the description. I post a ton of content on there in regards to baby names, lots of name games, and if you have any questions or anything, definitely send me a DM or even email me. I'm gonna start off on the girl side today, and this one has that really trendy Etta ending to it, and this is the name Oretta. So spelled A-U-R-E-T-T-A. This one has actually two nicknames you can pull. It's Aura or even Etta if you want as more of that vintage choice. But this one's Italian originated, meaning light wind. And I feel like this one just symbolizes that weather aspect of fall. You have that fall breeze, it's a little bit cool in the air, and you have those fall leaves just kind of flowing in the wind. And I thought that for a middle name, Breeze, Oretta Breeze, would be kind of like a more bold but subtle fall baby girl's name. The next name that I have for you guys is a unisex name, and this is the name Baize. So spelled B-A-I-Z-E. This one's French originated, meaning dark brown. So obviously brown is part of that color spectrum in the fall season. This one just reminds me of the name Blaze. A little bit more uncommon, definitely unique, but I feel like it has more of that softer color vibe, as Blaze is definitely very bold and out there, a little bit more trendy as well, but they both still incorporate those fall colors and that fall color scheme that is really definitely unique. Another unisex option here, this one's really fun, and that is the name Orchard. So spelled O-R-C-H-A-R-D. This one's an obvious English word name and it means garden yard, but whenever, to me at least, whenever I think of the fall season, I always think of like apple orchards and like how the colors are changing of the leaves and the trees, and it's just such a beautiful scene. And it's definitely a unique option than the meadows and the maples. It totally falls into that category, but a little bit more uncommon. So speaking of fruits, I have a vegetable name next, and this is the name of Fennel. This is spelled F-E-N-N-E-L. I actually thought of this and had it on a list for so long, and I thought this was the perfect video to showcase it. It just has that kind of vegetable vibe, that herb vibe, and a lot of vegetable names, especially herbs and spices in general, are really great names for fall babies, whether it's for a boy or for a girl. Another one I have here is a boy's name, and that is the name Crispin. So spelled C-R-I-S-P-I-N. This one's Latin originated, meaning curly haired, but I added it to the list because it has that crisp in it, and obviously the air going from summer to fall is always turning a little bit more crisper, and I thought that it just has that little fall hint, but it's not just straight going for like, okay, that's for sure a fall name, you know what I mean? It has those subtle hints. Another one I have here is a little bit more naturey, definitely bold, and that is the name Pine. So spelled P-I-N-E. I love this one for a boy. I think it's super handsome. It goes along the moss, birch, elm. I think any of those tree names are just so cool for a boy. It's more of like an earthy name, so definitely a really great nature choice for a little boy, especially during the season here. Next one is a girl's name, and this one I am so in love with. I think it's just so beautiful, and that is the name Folia. So spelled F-O-L-I-A. This one is just beyond pretty to me, and it's derived from the word foliage or leaves in general. So it kind of can symbolize that change, you know, that change of the fall leaves going from, you know, the green all the way to the different colors, the browns, the yellows, the reds, and the oranges. So I think that can really symbolize change and new beginnings for a little baby or your family. Next one is another girl's name, and I thought this one was absolutely absolutely sweet and has those subtle hints as well, just like folia. And that is the name Kinlan. So spelled K-I-N-L-Y-N. This one's an invented name, actually invented by one of the girls over on Instagram. She sent it in. I thought it was just so cool. This one's actually made up of two names. So Kin, which is Japanese originated, meaning golden, and Lin, which is Welsh originated, meaning lake, or German originated, meaning soft and tender. But when I was thinking about this name, Kinlan, it reminds me of the word kindling. You know, you sit around a fire, you use kindling to kind of burn there. So I thought that that just totally kind of symbolizes that in a way. And she thought it kind of was encompassing the ending of pumpkin. So like Kinlan, pumpkin. So, you know, I thought of something completely different and she thought of something completely different with this name. So that was kind of cool. I have a Hebrew name next. This is the name Carmine. So spelled C-A-R-M-I-N-E. This one is totally unisex again, which I feel like a lot of these ones are, but this one sounds a little bit more edgier, and it really just represents that gardening season and that harvest time during the fall, which is mainly what fall is all about. It's that season of change. And then speaking of harvest, I have a few options that fall into this category that can really symbolize those new beginnings for a little one. So one of the options here is the name Zea or Zia, depending on how you want to pronounce it. It's spelled Z-E-A. It's Latin originated, meaning grain, which is obviously a staple crop during this season. And I just thought this one just sounded so cute, short, sweet, and simple, but it has an edginess with that Z at the beginning, which I absolutely love. Another one here I have is the name Barrick, so spelled B-A-R-R-I-C. This one's English originated, meaning grain farm, so about grain again. And it's a great option as an honorary name for either like a Barry or an Eric in your family. So definitely a little bit more modern. A girl's name that I have here now for you is the name Arista, so spelled A-R-I-S-T-A. This one's Greek originated, meaning harvest. And I thought this one just has this exotic sound to it. Any Greek names I'm a huge fan of. You guys gotta go check out Greek name lists. I tell you this all the time. Next name I have here is a biblical name, and that is the name Omri. So spelled O-M-R-I. This one's Hebrew, meaning my sheath of grain. This one was in the Old Testament. It is a king of Israel also who was related to the harvest season. Really great option for a fall biblical name that's definitely unique. This next name is a little bold and fun for this season if you're wanting to go all out. I feel like this one would be really cool for a girl, but this is the name Cider. So spelled C-I-D-E-R, or you can do C-Y-D-E-R depending on how you want to spell it. But it's an old medieval English word meaning drink made of apples. But this one just has this warm undertone of that warm and cozy feeling when you're drinking an apple cider. Like you have that warmth with you. It totally just gives off like fall season cozy vibes to me. The next two names are spice inspired names. I love this one. It's the name Paprika, so spelled P-A-P-R-I-K-A. Honestly, I think this is so fun and so sweet for a little girl. This one is a red spice name made of dried bell peppers. Spice names in general always remind me of that fall holiday season, especially going into winter time as well. And then another spice name I have here for you guys is the name Cinnamon. This is spelled C-I-N-N-A-M-O-N. Obviously another spice name used in so much baking, pumpkin spice lattes, and just in general. I feel like cinnamon, paprika, all of those more warmer spices are always used during this time. And cinnamon as a name is actually up 10% in 2020 for girls' names, so it's definitely trending. Another name here, it's actually a boy's name, and this one's color inspired, and that is the name Redmond. So spelled R-E-D-M-O-N-D. This one's Irish originated, meaning wise protector, but I added it to the list because it has the red in the name. But again, it's more subtle and it has some really great traits behind it. So if you're wanting something handsome, but during the fall season for a little boy, this one would be a great option for you. And then now I have a few other color inspired names here. It's the name Kiona, so spelled K-I-O-N-A. This one's Native American originated, meaning brown hill. So I thought this one was a perfect option or alternative to like Kiona, Kiera, Kiara, any of those names that maybe you find a little bit too common or popular right now. Kiona has this really pretty exotic sound to it. Another one I have here is the name Bruna, so spelled B-R-U-N-A. This one's Italian originated, meaning brown. This one has always been a love of mine, and I was thinking, imagine siblings Kiona and Bruna. I think it's just very subtle. They both mean brown and they're both fall inspired, so I thought that was really pretty to pair them two together. Next name I have here is a boy's name, and that's the name Harkin, spelled H-A-R-K-I-N. This one is an Irish surname meaning red, and this one's definitely a little bit more masculine sounding, and I am loving the nickname Hark for this one. I think it's just so handsome, very similar to like Hawken, but you have Harkin. Another color option here, this one's unisex, is the name Auburn, spelled A-U-B-U-R-N. I love this color name. I think it's so unique, definitely uncommon, and it's kind of like a reddish brownish color, and for an alternative to amber, I thought auburn would totally fit that position just because it just sounds so similar. They both start with A, and they're both in that warmer shade category as well for colors. And then speaking of amber, I have another option here, is the name Umber, spelled U-M-B-E-R. This one is totally unisex, a little bit more on the masculine side, and it's French originated, meaning shade, but it is like an earthy tone. So if you're looking for color options that are alternative to maybe amber, auburn is a really great option, or even umber if you're wanting something a little bit more edgier. All right, so moving on to our next name. This one is so perfect for a little baby girl born around Thanksgiving. So this is the name Zendaya, so spelled Z-E-N-D-A-Y-A, and this one's African originated, meaning to give thanks. So Thanksgiving is obviously one of the main holidays during fall. Some people celebrate it in October, depending on where you live, and then some in November. So Zendaya could really symbolize that thankfulness for that new life and for that new little beginning for that family. Next I have is a boy's name, and that's the name Hawthorne, spelled H-A-W-T-H-O-R-N-E. This one's an Old English tree name, meaning lives where hawthorn hedges grow, and the tree actually attracts songbirds specifically during the fall season. So I thought that was kind of a cool fact about the tree. And this name, guys, get this, in 2020 for a boy's name, this one's actually up 12%. So really interesting. People are being a little bit more daring, and I love this. I think you can really have some really cool nicknames with this one. Girl's name I have here next is so cool, is the name Octavia, spelled O-C-T-A-V-I-A. This one's Latin originated. It's actually a Victorian name meaning 8th, but could really symbolize a baby girl being born in October because it has that Octavia, October. Very suitable but subtle. And then if you're gonna go straight for the punch, I have a couple month names here for you. So I have the name October, spelled O-C-T-O-B-E-R. I also have for a boy Tober, T-O-B-E-R. So if you're wanting maybe girl or edgy boy, October, but boy, Tober. Thought it was kind of cool. October is like the month of true color and true fall time. Like, it's the dead middle of fall. You have Halloween. It's when the colors of the trees are at its truest colors. I just think it's just such a great time and an unusual month name for sure. I feel like those fall time month names are just not really as heard often as like May or June. Another month name I have here is the name November, spelled N-O-V-E-M-B-E-R. This one is definitely uncommon. It's actually a Latin originated name meaning 9th. Obviously 9th month, but this one could symbolize a baby being born at the end of fall because November is technically the month right before winter. So again, a time of change. Another month name I have here is the name September, spelled S-E-P-T-E-M-B-E-R. So just like November being the last month of fall, this one could symbolize the beginning of fall. So that transition from summer to fall where you have the leaves changing, and it's just a really really fun time, especially if you're just like, I'm so done with the heat. And then next is September's birthstone. So it's the name Sapphire, spelled S-A-P-P-H-I-R-E. This one is my favorite name. Honestly, if I could change my name, it would be Sapphire, which is so random, but it's true. So it's a Hebrew and Greek and Latin originated jewel name meaning blue. And the sapphire birthstone, like the stone itself, it is believed to bring protection, good fortune, and spiritual insight. It's a very unusual gemstone name, color name, and just in general, like a really unusual name that is not really heard of. Before I mention the final name, a couple other gemstone names that fit perfectly into this category. I've actually mentioned both of these before in other videos, but it's the name Opal, which is October's birthstone. This one's a really great vintage option for a little baby girl born during October. And then November's birthstone is Topaz, T-O-P-A-Z. So that one's another really great option for a fall baby. That one is more unisex, as for Opal is a little bit more on the girly side. So really great gemstone options for that season. All right, so now we are down to our very final name on the list here. This one's actually a Turkish originated boy's name. So this is the name Hazan, spelled H-A-Z-A-N. I know that there's a couple different ways you could pronounce this one depending on where you live in the world, but I tried to say it as close as I could to the Turkish pronunciation, which is Hazan. And this one directly means autumn. So perfect for a little fall boy in this category. Again, more of a subtle fall inspired name, but it directly means autumn. So I thought that was really cool and really interesting. It's a great mix of culture, and majority of the time they're very easy to pronounce and spell. So definitely go look up also a Turkish names list. You'd absolutely love those options. But anyways, that is it with the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this list inspired you in some way. And if I missed any names, leave them in the comments below so you guys can inspire everyone out there that are looking for some really great fall options. And I will see you guys next Sunday with another baby names list. Bye, take care.